Welcome back from that quick break. Now let's turn our attention to a community called Sabare in the Zabzugu district of the northern region, where residents and farmers have had their homes and their farmlands submerged as a result of perennial flooding from heavy rainfalls. And we'll be looking shortly at a video or a report from that very town. Kweku, I have seen the report, and then I think this is not the first time we've seen such an issue happening. And looking at the report, the level of water that the people had to deal with, and it just took my memory back to when we had the whole Akosombo Dam spillage issue happening. But this isn't as a result of a dam spillage, but rather heavy rainfall, natural disaster. I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel very sorry for the people that have lost their farms, because lots of farmlands have been submerged, and this is going to be bringing lots of hunger in the long run. So I don't know, but I think that they really need help as soon as possible. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I think that it's a very unfortunate situation. There are aspects of it that, in nature, there are things you can do to preempt and to even mitigate, the effects of such things when heavy rainfalls come, because the cycles around the world are changing. There are things you can do and there are things you can't do anything about, right? One of the things we can do is to increase the earth cover in terms of plants, right? So trees and the bigger rooted plants we can have, the better. So trees especially is critical. But in the northern parts of Ghana has the most sparse cover of trees. So you don't have a lot of trees there, right? So when a situation like this comes, then they are very hard hit, because the cover is not that great, right? So there's that. Now, one of the things also that helps to even out the climatic conditions is also trees. When you have trees, it sort of balances somehow the climatic conditions as well, and makes it less severe, And so for me, I think that one of the things that we should be looking at, apart from meeting their current and present challenge, that with the flooding and the rest, we'll have to send in relief, we'll have to send in help and all of that. Beyond that, we also need to be looking as a nation at increasing the ground cover in terms of trees and all of that. Yes, so that, I know some efforts have been made over the last few years with planting, doing a balance of, you're going to plant a tree, but plant a tree that provides food. You see, so a lot of millions of mango trees were planted. A few years ago, I was part of a team that photographed the project, and so I know that firsthand. But that was an effort. I think some other countries, and embassies supported Ghana in doing that as well. But I think it's important to be, as a government, to say, listen,
let's be deliberate.
Let's be deliberate. This we're going to do this over the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years. Every year we're planting X million number of trees in the northern sector of Ghana, especially. Let's go hard and focus there to help reduce some of these, freak climatic conditions. But I think we should take a look at the report and give you a sense. All right, so let's take a look at that report filed by our colleague and correspondent, Mohammed Aminu M. Alabira.
It was a heartbreaking scene in Sabare, Zabzugu district. When ChannelOne arrived, many houses were submerged, while others had collapsed entirely. Around 692 people have been displaced. Some of the displaced have sought refuge with friends, whilst others have left the community altogether. Several of the displaced residents shared their experience with ChannelOne News. Many people remained in partially flooded homes, with water rising halfway up the walls. Those staying in these homes told ChannelOne they have nowhere else to go.
The water, if we should go far, the water has destroyed a lot of buildings. And even this house, the water has not entered because my mom and my stepmom were trying to figure out some solution so that the water will not enter the house here. But before they realize the water is in the house, you can't block it. I think it has destroyed a lot of even our farm products. And we cannot even this, we are about 4 acres of maize. This is the little we have gotten from the farm.
One of the houses completely submerged belonged to an elderly woman who makes a living selling pito, local brewer. She shared her struggles with ChannelOne, explaining how the flood has severely impacted her living.
So you had
Another resident spoke about their inability to save their belongings from the flood waters. Is this your house?
Yes, this is my house.
This is your house?
Yes, sir.
So tell us about it.
What happened was that about 4 days today that this flood started coming. And then the situation here is that normally when it happens like this, we moved. And then we don't even expect much water like this that has just come like that. So we are here currently suffering. We don't even know where to go. And then actually fact, what happened now is that we don't have buildings where we can go and settle in.
One major concern observed by ChannelOne was the public health risk. Sanitation in the community is in a dire state, rising fears of a cholera outbreak if immediate action is not taken. There are no proper waste disposal sites, and rubbish is scattered throughout the community. Furthermore, toilet facilities have been submerged with sewage floating in the waters. The local assemblyman told ChannelOne that temporary arrangements were being made for those displaced. He also called on the authorities to step in and assist the community.
The whole place had been flooded, and most of the houses, more than 20 houses, have been destroyed. And then so what we are doing now is those houses that have been destroyed, they have to go and then patch up with those that have not been destroyed for now. That is for the management we are doing for now. So aside that, we make arrangement. Yesterday I called the NADMO. So NADMO came and then took those affected houses. And so we are appealing to the political leaders to also come to our aid and then see how we are going to do so that the place will be calm. If not, for now, the people are more frustrated.
The National Democratic Congress NDC parliamentary candidate for Zabzugu, Honorable Alasan Abako, visited the community to express his condolences. He urged the government to intervene, assuring the people that an NDC-led government will provide lasting solutions.
As a public servant and also servant of the people, I heard of this disaster, and we came to empathize with them and see how much it has affected them. And as you can see, this is a natural disaster. But and so we are calling on government and all bodies that can assist for not necessarily settlement, but for now how to provide them shelter and clothing, food, so that we can get over this temporal situation.
They are appealing with the government for substantial assistance.
This time around, I wish it shouldn't be like that. Where it is not affected, let them bring the things to our aid then. But they shouldn't then send it to Zabzugu and later bring it back to us. It happens in that aspect. Many of us will not even get what they brought.
The NDC candidates also voiced skepticism, stating he didn't expect any meaningful help to arrive. Several farmers in the area expressed their frustration over the loss of their crops, including rice, maize, and yam fields, which were destroyed by the flood. They warned that without any government intervention, there could be a serious food shortage in the future. The Yendi-Zabzugu road was also heavily affected by the flooding, causing frustration among road users. Though the road has been constructed, the engineers did not account for the annual flooding in the area. Water regularly crosses the road, and many believe the road should have been elevated to prevent this. Many travelers were left stranded, with some returning back out of fear of crossing the flooded road.
All right, welcome back. So that's the report that Muhammad Arabira put together for us. It's a very dire situation, and we're going to speak to him shortly. Now, Jafar, before we talk to Alhaji Arabira, for me, the issue of disease, after this, because if public toilets and sewage, other toilets trash, are, being submerged, it means sewage is going to be traveling everywhere into people's homes, into people's spaces, and even when this water recedes.
The aftermath, yes.
What does it mean?
I was telling you that this is just bringing me memories from the Akosombo Dam spillage experience. It's almost a year now already, and I mean the aftermath of the dam spillage we saw, seeing the skin conditions people had to live with, the health issues and all of that we had to deal with by the help of some medical practitioners. And this, I think they need urgent help, not only looking at how to give them some shelter, but as government is going to be providing shelter for them, they should take a look at their health as well, because you're having to deal with all of these contaminated water. Sometimes some of the water, but the stagnant water even breeds mosquito. There are snakes in there, a whole lot of issues, and this is a very serious one.
Yeah. Well, let's join our colleague who's come on the line to speak to us about updates of what's happening. Mohammed Alhaji, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, boss.
Yes.
You very well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what updates can you bring us? First of all, before you bring us the updates, how are the rains still falling? Have the rains stopped?
Thank you so much. Currently, the rains have reduced, because it's now only sometimes in the evening that the rains come.
Okay.
It is no longer as usual as it were last week or last 2 weeks.
Okay.
It started. Some places it will rain, other places it will not.
Okay. So
update I am getting from the place is that the road is now free, and people are now moving, or people and cars are now going on freeway.
Okay.
Except the houses that there are still water in some of the houses.
Okay. All right. So the roads are clear now of the water.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So have you heard anything about the authorities and what their interventions are for the people?
Yes. What I heard was that, yes, indeed, NADMO went and registered the people, but till now, nothing has been sent to them in any form. I tried several times reaching the regional NADMO director. Yesterday, I called him more than 5 times. He has not answered my call. So, truly speaking, I don't actually know what is happening right now, and no relief item has been sent to them for now.
Okay.
All right, Mohammed. So in this case, how are the people, or where are they settling at the moment? Has there been a resettlement center provided for them, or what is the state of their settlement?
Yes, some have moved to settle with friends who are living up the stream. You know, this community is a fishing community, and they are living very close to the river. So, and there are some, it's a wide community anyway. So some have moved up to live with people that are not affected by the flood. And some have completely left the community. They say they have nowhere to go than to leave the place. So some for now have left the community.
And speaking of NADMO, have you, since you've not been able to establish any contact with them, have you been in contact with maybe the assembly member, the DC, or any duty bearers to know whether they are going to be coming to their aid anytime soon?
Yes, the assemblyman for the area have been in touch with him, and he tells me how he has been making follow-up for relief items for his people. Yes, the DCE again has also assured that yes, something will definitely come for them. But for now, as we speak now, nothing has been sent to them. My concern has to do with the sanitation in the area.
Yeah.
You know, the community has no toilet facilities except that one or two people who have toilet facilities in their homes. And they throw rubbish everywhere. And the flood, when it ends, they also do open defecation in the community. So when the flood comes, every place, there was rubbish every place. So that was the first thing that hit me when I got to the community. I was scared that if something is not done about this, then the people will be in trouble.
Have they tried seeking any health attention?
For now, no. No, nothing has been done for them in the community now. And now that the water is proceeding, maybe authorities, as they say, will think that everything is over now. But they will definitely have to do something about them for now.
All right. So what about the district chief executive? What about the MP for the area? Have you had any conversations with them at all?
Yes, the MP for the area, Honorable John Jeffrey, for some time now, his contact is not going through. I understand he's not feeling well. So he's either out of the country or something. I've tried him several times. I've not been able to get him. The DCE too. Yes, I've tried calling his line. Sometimes it goes, he won't answer. But sometimes he receives my calls. Sometimes he returns it. But for this time, he has not returned my calls or answered my calls.
I see. All right. Well, we wish the people all the best. Thank you very much for the report.
I just want to ask Mohammed before he goes. Mohammed, this issue was as a result of heavy rainfall. Have you had any reports from GMET as to any weather updates, just so that people can prepare in case of any heavy rainfall in the future?
No, I don't. There was one interesting thing that struck me about what the people were saying. You know, the community is what's the name? It's a community where people go to do sand weaving, like this is sand. That is where they normally go to do it. And the people complain that the authorities over there have made a route where the cars usually pass into the riverside. They go to take sand, river sand from the place, and that has also given way for the water to easily run to the community. So those were their complaints to me that maybe if that road could be constructed outside the community, that would have helped. But for Guinness, no, for now I've not heard anything from them, please.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
All right, so that was our colleague and correspondent, Mohammed Aminu M. Alabira, bringing us an update as to what's happening in the Sabare, which is in the Zabzugu district of the northern region, with all the flooding that has happened as a result of incessant rains. 2 weeks of rains, raining in the day, raining in the night, raining all the time for 2 weeks non-stop. And that's the result that you saw in the report there. We understand from what he says that reports coming in are that at least for the roads, which are a bit higher, the floods have receded. But many people still have water in their houses. Many houses are still flooded. And so we hope that they recede quickly and that the institutions like NADMO, institutions like the district health facilities and so on will be up to the task and make sure that we don't have a crisis on our hands.
Of course, Koko, because open defecation is a very serious thing. To think that most of the homes do not have toilet facilities and the very few ones they have are not able to serve the community properly, hence the result of having to defecate openly and a irresponsible disposal of rubbish, which I mean is going to cost them a lot after this issue. So I really hope that help comes their way soon. And when these things happen, our reluctancy to attend to these issues bothers me so much, because as Mohammed said on the phone, he's been trying to reach the duty bearers, but nobody seems to be responding to him. And we cannot wait till the worst happens. We cannot wait till people are losing their lives as a result of health implications that come after these things before we say that we want to take action.
All right. Well, we have a farmer from the area, from Sabare, joining us on the line. Abdul Majid, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Abdul, please walk us through the experience you have had in the last few weeks with the rainfalls. What has happened to your farms?
Yes, it wasn't even the rainfall attack. As I was told, it was very the Bagiri Dam they opened.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So before I can speak on anything, it caused havoc to free those residents around the area. Well, some of the houses were pushed down by the water, and most of the farms, of which I'm one of the victims, rice fields, maize, yam, cassava, all the crops that will come along the side was condemned.
Wow. And so, so what are the, I mean, apart from yourself, I'm sure you know other farmers who've had a similar experience. So what are your plans? What are you going to do about the situation?
For now, we are hard up. We don't know what to do. So as you hope we would like you people to put it on this way, explore the news so that NGOs and government can come to our assistance.
Okay, well, I mean, people are watching and listening to you, and so I'm sure, you know, different groups will activate some help to come to you. But have you heard anything from NADMO? NADMO is the government organization that's responsible to come to immediate assistance.
Yes. The NADMO officials, they came here and took their report.
Okay.
We took them around, even the regional level, NADMO, they all call on to find out from their office, the officers in Zabzugu district.
Okay.
So I am told, and I know the report has been given to them.
Okay. Now, can you sort of paint a picture for us, as far as you know, how far was this water, how many farms do you think were flooded by this flooding?
For Sabare area?
Yes.
Precisely, let me put it in this way, more than 50 farmers.
More than 50 farmers
More than 50 farmers.
were affected.
Yes, more than 50 farmers. At the same time, not only Sabare affected. You know, the river goes through the upward to down. We are down.
Okay.
Even there are some communities, Molebu, Nagundo, a lot of communities were affected. But just that because the water crossed the route here at Sabare number 2 and pulled some of the houses down, that is why all eyes are on Sabare affected.
Yeah. All right.
Kweku, before we let you go, can you able to tell us if you've been able to salvage some foodstuffs or some crops from your farms before the rain came destroying?
Come again?
Have you been able to salvage some foodstuffs or crops before the water came destroying your farmlands?
Already, the dry-out affected us. We flushed for the second time, and the water came and consumed it.
So you've not been able to get a hold of anything from your farms?
For now, all the area was rice. For the rice, I can't get it because everything is dry, everything is rotten.
Okay. And you're saying that this was the second planting?
Yes, please. Because the dry out disrupts everything.
Yeah. Wow.
So we tried to plant this soya-based maize.
Yeah.
But the rice was normal. Okay. But the soybeans and the maize was the least planting. And then the water also came and washed it away.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Thank you very much for that. And we wish you all the best.
Before I go,
Yes, please talk to us.
I would like to appeal to your session. You are doing good for Mother Ghana. But the thing is, the Burkina Faso, whenever they are also going to open their battery down, they should alert people or they shouldn't let it be full before opening. They should start opening it small, or else all the time we are in bad business.
Okay. Now, Abdul, right now we don't have an update as to whether Bagri was actually spilled, because the last update we had was in August, that they spilled in August, and that one affected some farmlands in the northern region. But
they have so many channels of the Bagri Dam.
okay.
The first one was open and it affected, that was Mafu, that was northeast side.
Okay.
And we are in the eastern corridor.
Okay.
Precisely, eastern part of the northern region.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay.
now that this time it was ours they open. And it passes through,
I see.
side and our area, Mungu and all those places.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure the authorities will deal with it as appropriate. All right. So
Thank you very much.
thank you too. Thank you to you. Abdul Majid is a farmer in Sabare, that's in the Sabzugu district, and very
sad,
trying times, for them. Over 50 farmers have their farms impacted in this way, and it's harrowing because to think that you had a dry spell, a prolonged dry spell, and so which you were not expecting.
Yes.
You thought rains would come.
Yes.
So you planted in anticipation of the rains.
Yes.
Then there was a drought, dry spell. We read about it, we had stories on it, right? Then all your crops were destroyed because of that, right? Then as the rains started, and you thought, oh good, now the rains are finally here, let's plant again. And you plant again, and this time
You get to
this
lose everything.
happens, and then all the crops are destroyed. It's a very unfortunate.
It's really disturbing, Kweku. It's really disturbing. And this is going to go a long way to affect the people and everybody in that part of the northern region because it's going to bring famine, food shortage.
And not even just to them, because some of these areas, they farm for the rest of the country.
Yes, they bring food
so
down south here.
It will cause the prices of foodstuffs
here as well.
down south to go up.
And Christmas is almost here, so we can't afford to have food prices being increased and all of that.
Yeah.
I really hope that some help will come their way soon. This is rather a very sad one.
Yeah. We're trying to establish contact with the assemblyman of Sabare to see if we can have a conversation on what they are doing at the moment and what help the assembly is offering to the people. If we're able to raise him on the line, we'll have that conversation with him shortly. But yeah, it's a tough situation. All right, but we're going to take a quick break. When we're back, there's more conversations right here on Breakfast Daily.